Have you ever come across these terms in SAP MM area where you have come across someone speaking direct procurement and indirect procurement? So it's if you are a candidate trying to learn SAP MM module and you have very less chances of coming using these terms on daily when you're practicing. But if you are a real-time consultant working, then you know the differences of these two terms, and so that's the reason I just wanted to make it very simple. Whoever is learning SAP MM module, so that they can face interviews confidently. And this is also one of the area if someone is trying to understand whether you're a real-time consultant or not, so there might be chances that they may ask this question, right? So the confusion comes where you generally, as a training candidate, so you mostly spend your time on standard procurement, consignment procurement, third party procurement, all of that, right? So the same way, this word comes like direct procurement, so you may just puzzle or tricky, just get a thought that wait, this might be another procurement type or what, but it's not a one procurement type, but this comes under a direct procurement type, and there is another thing called an indirect procurement type. So for example, if for example so direct procurement involves in buying of materials, components, or services that are directly used into your company's final products or services that are sold to customers. Okay, these are you can think like ingredients or core elements that make up what the business actually sells, right? So that's the reason in a single note you can say, so direct procurement, you know it directly contributes to the final product or service. Okay, let me give an example. You have a procurement team, right? In procurement team you will have different procurement groups, the people who are responsible for procuring different materials. Let's say you have two groups, and if you ask one group, and if you ask them what kind of procurements you do, they'll tell we do direct procurements. And another group might tell you, so we take care of indirect procurements. So what does it mean? Direct procurement group takes care of all the materials, components, or services that are directly used in producing your final product. So they only deal and buy and meet the vendors, source those vendors, and do all, only, it is all those products are involved in producing your final product. Okay, so they say that we come under direct procurement team group. Okay, if you say what is indirect procurement, then indirect procurement means, so this group will procure most of the time, like your stationary items, if there is any procurement which is needed for your business operations, and if there is any software maintenance and there is some service related, all that, you consume those procurements, right? And those services or those products are used or supports your daily operations, so that your company runs smoothly, so that your production team can concentrate and produce your final product. So you can say like this. So within the purchase or it's in the procurement team, so one team can work on direct procurement and another team can work on indirect procurement, right? So so indirect procurement, you can say, this covers goods and services that support the production process but are not part of the final product, such as office supplies or maintenance services. Okay, and this direct procurement, you can procure in two ways again, externally or internally, right? Indirect procurement also, mostly here external only. You don't actually manufacture any stationary items and operation supporting materials and all, right? So most there might be chances, so any of the service you can use internally also, right? That's the reason direct procurement, whenever you're buying your materials, can be internally produced materials or you can purchase from external vendors, right? Indirect procurement also same. So if you look at here, so external procurement, is it's like, how you're buying. So you're going to buy from a vendor who is external, and or if you're going to buy internally, where your materials are manufactured, internally in one plant. They belong to your company only. And when MRP runs, so those depending plants, they create planned orders instead of purchase orders. So this planned orders uh, again, supply to those particular plants. So which means you are procuring these materials internally, right? So either of the way you're procuring, and after procuring, and they can come under direct procurement or indirect procurement. Hope this clears. Let's see it in the system. Now let's see it in the system how we can differentiate this direct procurement and indirect procurement in SAP. So mostly you can see like there are several ways. If any company wants to differentiate direct and indirect procurements to differentiate. So first one is material group. You can create one material group. Let's say for example, to see the material group, you go to your material management. So take one material, and you can see that field, in the basic data one, you will actually have, so one of the material group, for example, see this is electronics, electricity supply, and this that could be indirect, right? So there is another one, let's say monitors. This is a raw material, so this could be direct supply, like that. So depending on the material group also, you can differentiate. These are this comes under direct procurement or indirect procurement. So there is another option. You can also see it in the accounting one view, where you can have valuation class also. One valuation class for direct procurement and indirect procurement. Okay, and uh, also you can also control this in your purchase order. So I'm just taking one purchase order for us to discuss. So you can have this account assignment category. So this, you can have one of the account assignment category as your direct and indirect, so categories. Okay, so let's say for example it is third party, right, like that. So you can have here one control which can differentiate direct and indirect procurements. Also you can use this also item category reference, where you use it for your consignment pipeline, all of that, right? So same way here also you can have one, but mostly in SAP, the effective way is, see material group, using material group account assignment category. So like in material group you can have 1000 for raw materials, and then 2000 for office supplies, IT equipment, maintenance items and services. Under account assignment category here, here you can have like direct procurement, which is for stock materials, K for cost centers materials, and asset project materials and sales orders, like that. So yeah, with the valuation class you can have this raw materials 3000, so and 79 for office supplies, maintenance materials, IT supplies. Item category, you just saw that blank is for standard purchase order, right? So and you can have D for service items, L for subcontracting, stock transport. So if you see this, you know standard is always a direct procurement items, right? So like that, service items are indirect and subcontracting is direct. So stock transport also is a direct procurement only, right? So that's how you can customize